You live.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Blaze and Blaster's presentation of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I know you might not have heard of this system, but Blaze and Blasters is going to give it a shot. Welcome to Book 3. If you're interested in watching the other episodes, they can be found on our YouTube channel, Blaze and Blasters. And if you like what you see there, we have tons of games. Please subscribe, and that would help us out a little bit. But without further ado, I'm going to get things started with a little flashback from 500 years ago here. Details of our tale often bear resemblance to our current plane of existence. For instance, how do you know what you know about history? How sure are you of its accuracy? Indeed, leading upon historians, philosophers, and scribes is also to trust to humanity and its failings. Prone to misremember and misreport, we mortals are swayed by our passions and unrealized wishes. So it is in Arcanus, where the minds of men, elves, and dwarves are set to put history to parchment unerringly, but they necessarily fail. Take, for instance, the sleepy town of Pinebreak Peak. History would have you remember its origins only a few hundred years ago, but that is a lie. The real story is much older and much darker. Over 500 years ago, small wars covered the north. Heroes and villains rose and fell, their deeds becoming things of myth and legend. And so it was that the town of Vanquich, under the northern shadow of the mountains, came under the power of a great and terrible demon. Those few who resisted were outright slaughtered or abducted from their homes. And so most citizens of Vanquich served the demon, and it grew in power until by some unnatural might, the village became a town, and the town a city, and the city of Vanquich threatened its neighbors with vast armies of abominable creatures. For in those times, each kingdom ruled itself, and Foliana did not hold the power that it now does. Vanquich expanded, and more villages and towns came under its mysterious sway, until from across the mountains came a band of elves and men. Uncommon, even in those times, it was said that their number was great, and that they fled great wars in the south. But coming upon the kingdom of Vanquich, they despaired, for such an abomination was never seen south of the Boreas. And so war was made, and the forces of elves and men, led by Elfgar Gilthonien of Southlandia, did battle and struggled with the demon and his infernal forces. In those days, users of magic were more common, and it is said that the plains north of the mountains, now known as the Pious Marches, shone forth with flashes of fire and lightning. After many thousands lay dead or dying, the demon was subdued, though it was beyond Elfgar's power to destroy him utterly. And so it came to be that hundreds of years ago, Zorul the Vanquished was sealed away far beneath the ground in a prison, partly of his own making. His power was harnessed and turned on itself. His own servants now turned prison guards. The kingdom of Vanquich was no more. After the war, its population was decimated and took hundreds of years to rebuild, and Elfgar Gilthonien stayed in the north. Eventually, he married another elf that had wandered far from home, and the couple had a son, Garland. Garland grew tall and strong and traveled the continent, returning home at times to sing of his exploits and set his adventures to verse. He married Liliath of Lebvinnen, and the couple was blessed with a boy by the name of Elfgar. By that time, the village had grown again into a town and was renamed Pinebreak Peak, near the end of the Scavari War. Garland and his wife, Liliath, died, but Harlan and Elfgar remained to watch over Zorul's prison in Terreton. And what happened next? Well, the rest is history. And with that, the scene fades, and we come back to current times, where we find ourselves in a deep and dark dungeon. Where Torquel has just disturbed the slumber of some unnatural force. And as the door slides open, in the shadow beyond, Torquel can see forms of undead beasts rushing towards him as they grab for Torquel. And I would like all the PCs to make initiative rolls. There should be a macro up there, leftmost.
These are some amazing rolls.
Oh, why are you having that two-person session after all?
We're distracted.
Absolutely. Descending. Sir Tiffin the Long draws his sword. My lord, do you see this?
Silence, Tiffin. We're looking at the script.
Julius looks around and looks. I can see them pretty clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, he would take note of it. I don't know if I can I can yell out on his turn or not, so I can just wait on mine, I guess.
Yeah, verbal communication, just RP it, whatever.
Right. Yeah, so Julius will look to the south and see all these, and do I hear other doors and see them opening up as well?
Yeah, there's like that grinding as they all kind of just slide open.
And he looks around. Should fall back to the doors. There are likely many more.
And Sir Tiffin's going to move towards you 30 feet to kind of cover your retreat or whatever you're going to do as you move. And as he does so, the crypt nearest to him here opens, and you see a hand kind of come out, and another body just kind of crawls out of the crypt there. Be wary, Lord Tarisk. That will be his turn. Tarben's up.
Tarben will move and then use dash to get over here, but then he doesn't have anything left for an attack this round.
It kind of, as you get closer to this crypt, the thing just kind of spins around it. So Carl does the same. Lord Giant's Claw, I am upon you. He moves. He moves to flank. He dashes to flank the zombie there, and doesn't have anything left either. All right, skeletons' turns. All right, these blue ones. I rolled for all the skeletons at once. These blue ones have archers, so he kind of emerges from the crypt here. You hear this like this dry old bow creak back in it. You hear an arrow whistle through the air towards Sir Tiffin. Uh, 12, and that is a miss, and it flies right past him. The skeleton behind him will move. The one nearest Torquel kind of rushes into that door jamb and takes a swipe at Torquel with this ancient-looking short sword with a bunch of jagged edges. And what does Torquel look like as he either dodges or knocks it away?
He looks disgusted. Ugh!
As you do
No
that,
one's fight.
like half the skeleton's teeth just like crumble out upon your shoulder, and just dust covering the ground as he kind of like leans in upon you with his weight. And this guy is going to come up. He's going to dash 60 feet to there. And this one is going to move 30. And should get a shot at Taleb. These guys suck. 8.
Excellent.
And that's it for the skellies. Zombies are up now. We'll start with Torquel. And Torquel's kind of double teamed down here in the south. This one kind of leans towards you.
Okay.
21, that is enough to hit. 2 damage on that one. So what are you doing as you kind of like open this door? These 2 undead things kind of rush forward. Ah!
Look behind. That all?
You can see just kind of darkness in the inside. With all the chaos, it's just really hard to tell what else is going on in there. Zombie shambles 40 feet to double move to come out. And these are steps here, so you guys could potentially climb up there for double movement. But these guys need to use the steps. I think that's all of them except...
What happened to Julius?
He's there.
Oh, I don't see him on the list.
Yeah, I'm not seeing myself on the
On the turn order.
initiative.
Did you roll?
I did. I rolled a
An 18.
no 6. Tarben rolled 18.
Sorry, 6. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'll just add you on.
Okay.
Add turn. I wonder if it has anything to do with your multi-sided die or whatever. You rolled a 6, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 6. Okay. So near Foliana, you see that crypt near you start to kind of shove to the side, and another one kind of pops his head out.
Well, that's annoying because she was still trying to just finish reading that inscription.
Oh, but Taleb is closest to him, so he just kind of reaches towards Taleb. Ah! 21. I'll lose your doctor. All right, and Torquel, you're up.
He'll attack the skeleton.
That's a hit for 9 damage. And you like knock most of its ribs off, and now it's just like basically has 1 arm and 2 legs, and it's just this thing that reaches forward, and it's kind of its jaws are snapping at your face. But it's pretty banged up with that attack. Julius.
Julius sees the one pop out of the crypt here in front of them, and just kind of yells, "Move!" and will throw an Eldritch Blast towards it.
Ooh. just gets knocked back, and there's this blue flame that engulfs it, and you think it's down, but then he kind of crawls back out of the crypt, this time kind of coming for you. Foliana.
Is Caleb doing anything?
I should probably... yeah.
Curious what he's doing. Cowering in fear. Yes, I'm sure. Is he kind of waiting then?
Yeah, let's say he just sees reflexively, takes a swing with his, like gets his mace out, takes a swing. 12.
Okay.
Hits.
Foliana, she's very, very slow to react because she doesn't want to be interrupted, doesn't like to be interrupted. So all this stuff's going on around her, and she's vaguely aware that there's trouble, and she's kind of reaching for her bow at the same time. She's just trying to hurry up and finish. And she finally gets her bow up, and gets off a quick shot at this one that's rising up before moving away. So let's see. Ooh. And then she's gonna move. She can move 30, right?
Yes.
Alright. So let's see. That's 15. We'll call it that then. Getting around Julius. Just kind of falling back and looking around with growing concern.
Sir Tiffin kind of sees what's going on and comes to Sir Carl's aid. And says, "Full Fristenfeld," and he kind of raises his sword up and takes a swing at him. And just misses.
Don't damage the sarcophagus!
Tarben.
Clumsy fool.
Alright. Tarben swings his maul at the one out of the sarcophagus.
Ow!
Nice.
A dagger.
That should be a maul.
Sounds like the GM forgot to rename that one.
Oh.
I'll just...
His maul's name is Dagger.
Let's see. All. Yep. There we go. Fixed.
And then he'll move a little closer to Julius. Lord Julius, quickly! Get away from here! And that's it for the big man.
And Sir Carl. He's going to take a swing here. Big two-handed longsword coming up. Ooh, it's for 12.
My goodness.
These two are tough. So, cuts off one of its arms, but the thing still struggles. Still comes after him. All right. From the shadows, a short bow rings out, and 13 versus 18 misses. And this guy is going to dash. If you hit Q, you can make waypoints. And still can't get quite close enough to attack anybody. The skeleton on Torquel attacks. There you go.
Ooh.
Only 1. 5 piercing damage. Torquel takes 5 piercing. And the other ones. Yeah, Julius now is in the line of fire. And a short bow attack kind of screams away. And it hits you. And where's this arrow stick for 8 damage?
Ghost.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. Had some issues with connection. What's going on?
You got shot with an arrow for 8 damage.
And this guy?
No, this guy up here.
Oh. It's out from the dark. An arrow flies and
Yeah.
strikes Julius in the chest. And blood starts to come out of his mouth a bit after being hit. Pretty square, actually, with that. I think I'm actually going to use my reaction if I can. I need to see if I can see him, though. That might do a rebuke on him.
Can you see him?
I'm just going to read it and see what it says for...
I think it just says line of sight.
Yeah, so I probably can't because I can't see him.
Yeah, this is like kind of a real dark area. The only illumination is from that green flickering flame and any torches you guys might hold. They can see you. And the zombie near Torquel slams up against you. Oh, again! 6 bludgeoning damage.
Torquel.
You'll make it bad.
And this one's going to move 40 feet. This one's going to move 40 feet. Which is a dash. And we get to do... this one kind of flops out of the crypt. You can move 20 feet towards the doctor. Takes a swipe at him. 14. Oh, that barely hits. It takes 3 damage from that. And this final zombie will go towards Tarben Giant's Blood. And we just push it away. Alright, Torquel's up.
Torquel is going to invoke his barbarian rage and then take a swing at the skeleton.
What does that do? Refresh me.
That does bunches of stuff. In battle, you fight with primal ferocity on your turn. You can enter a rage as a bonus action. While raging, you gain the following benefits if you're not wearing heavy armor.
Cool.
You have advantage on strength attacks and strength saving throws. When you make melee weapon attack using strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian, as shown in the rage damage column of the barbarian table. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. If you are able, not able to cast spells.
Cool. Well,
The rage lasts for 1 minute.
You're a machine. Alright. Which one are you going after then?
Skeleton.
That would hit. And you have advantage on the damage, it says.
Go back to it.
So it's 10.
It's on the table, whatever the table says.
Yeah, that is enough to kill it outright anyway.
I think
Yes,
that 9 is for critical damage, in case you get a critical. Caleb.
Caleb, I think, is just going to run back up.
So he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
to disengage.
Yeah, he's got to attack. Well, I guess that would be his action would be to disengage.
So you disengage your action and then you get to do your full move. You just can't dash.
You know, these zombies are slow. It would be enough still. So he can go 30 feet. There you go. Oh, close to that one though, so whatever.
Yeah. Have a
Julius.
frying pan.
Clutching his chest, Julius is gonna put some knights in between him and the enemy and move his full 30 feet, but is not pleased with having his little advent into this place disrupted by these undead. So as he gets to, I think about here was where he's at. Yes. Yep. As he gets to about there, he will turn and fling another eldritch blast towards the one that he had set aflame before.
What does that look like as the thing is just incinerated?
So angry at the arrow that was embedded in his chest, he spins and he knows this is not the beast that shot him, but he needs an avenue for his anger. He fires a blast of blue light and just scorches it head to toe. And I will also invoke this. So I get temp hit points, which would be
Nice.
7, I think. It's level 2, yeah. Level 2 and then Charismata. Yep. So I get 7 temp.
Ah, very well. Your hate has made you powerful.
And some of the wounds, he pulls the arrow from his chest and the wound starts to close up a bit as he lets it drop to the ground.
Miss Foliana Gretty.
Yeah, she's kind of frantically looking around now. Did she see the direction that the arrow came that hit Julius?
Yes, and you have night vision, right?
I do.
So I'm just gonna put a torch on this guy so you guys can see him.
Okay. So I am going to move to get into cover from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to move. We keep getting in each other's way. I'm gonna move to here, so I'm in cover in case it goes after me, and then I want to sneak attack the other one next to Tarben, because he's engaged with it. I get advantage and a sneak attack.
Excellent.
So that is what I will do. So that's 24. I get 8 damage, and the sneak attack damage would be a die 6. Oh, I can turn that on. I forgot to turn that on. So that's 11 damage.
What does that look like as you finish that one off?
It's reaching for Tarben, and the arrow goes right through the side of its head, and its head just kind of snaps to the side, and it just crumbles back into the crypt or sarcophagus.
Just crumbles into it, and this big plume of dust comes up. Sir Tiffin has his big two-handed sword out. He says, Lord Tarisk, Foliana, on me, Doctor. I suppose you can follow my coattails as well. Now moves over to the skeleton, rears out his big sword and hacks at it. Five. Knocks it back a little bit, but it's still coming. Lord Giant's Blood. Lord Giant's Blood.
Once again, he's going to find himself without anything left for the attack, but he will dash over here. And wind up to smash this one next to him.
Sir Carl is actually sees the skeleton with Tiffin and Giant's Blood, and actually is going to dash his 60 feet. Should I get this archer? We have ranged attackers from on high. I'll finish them off if you can take care of these other ones. And the skeleton takes a swing at Tarben. 10. That's a miss, right?
Yeah, that's a miss.
Short bow. Oh, 17. 17 misses. Those guys are good. Let's see any other skeletons around. I got that ranged combatant. This guy, can he reach you? He cannot. He sprints towards Julius Terrace to get right up in his face. But he has his weapon ready to swing, but it doesn't do anything. And then we have a ranged attacker that steps towards the top of the stairs and scans the environment. Foliana, you're in cover row, right? Yeah, he shoots at Talon. 10. And his shot goes wide. Zombie attacks Torquel. Ooh, 22. It's a hit for 6.
But I'm immune to bludgeoning damage for the next 10.
It's halved, yeah. You have resistance, so it's halved, right?
It halved, okay.
Yeah, you only take 3. That's a good talent. What about the other zombie? 2 other ones, huh? I think they're just going to shamble. Shamble forth. And Torquel, you're up.
Okay. Look, I'm so enraged I missed.
No, you have advantage on it though, so that hit him. And what's your bonus damage though?
I don't know. Let me open the book and pull it up. I'm not.
I bet it's in the compendium. There. Bet if I
Should have thought about it. Something should already.
There
It's
you go.
+2. You can check in the information portion on the sidebar.
Yep. +2, and you get advantage on the damage roll too, right?
No, there's no advantage on damage rolls.
So just 3 + 2 would be 5.
Yep.
All right. He's still coming at you, Torquel. His hands, you feel these icy fingers start to wrap around your throat. And he just like pounds against you.
I am showing fear.
Taleb's going to delay his action. And he'll come to anybody's aid if they need first aid. And Julius is up.
So Julius, I'm pretty sure that making ranged attacks at this point, he gets an attack of opportunity, right? That's how that works when you make.
They actually don't do that in 5th edition
Really?
anymore.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's
Well-
kind of weird, but they don't.
Well then, to my benefit then. So Julius is
I
gonna...
think you have I think you might have disadvantage with ranged attacks when you're engaged, but it does
Yes,
not
you do.
provoke opportunity.
But I think your magic's high enough. You're a powerful wizard.
We'll see, because I'm definitely gonna do it. So, as the skeleton's approaching, Julius considers falling back further, but he thinks he can handle this pathetic bag of bones. So he will raise his hand and attempt to throw another bolt of blue flame at the skeleton in front of him.
Oh my.
Hit.
He scorches it, burns it down. And, I think I can invoke Dark One's Blessing continuously, so I will just continue feeding off their pain.
Good, Julius.
He kicks it to the ground as it's on fire.
Foliana hears Torquel kind of screaming in anger, and it sounds like, I assume he's in a rage and doing battle shouts and stuff.
Yes.
So that draws her attention, and she can see that he's somewhat bloodied. So she's gonna kind of push over towards him a bit and take a shot at the zombie on him. So he's engaged, so that should give me advantage as well on that with a oh, it did not give me my sneak attack bonus.
Yeah,
Let's
that's because
turn that on.
that macro is one that I made before I even knew you could do the virtual table.
Oh, okay, it's not coming off of the
Yeah, I should probably
okay.
go through you guys and just use the enhancement, but
Well, yeah, I'll take a look. It's fine. It's no problem.
so it'll be 9
Alright,
damage.
So 9. Yep.
So it's pinned against the wall. Basically, it gets knocked off and forward. As an arrow sprouts from its chest, and with one of its hands, it takes it off of Torquel's throat, just snaps the arrow in two. And we're back to the top.
Waste of a good arrow.
Sir Tiffin is going to fall back and protect Julius. Lord Tarben, can you finish off this bag of bones?
Tarben just laughs.
Alright, your turn.
And now he will try and make good on the left.
Steve.
Schmear.
What does that look like as he goes down?
That one was a skeleton. He just rears back with the maul, smashes down on top of its head. It just sort of shatters into pieces.
Sir Carl, can he reach him? Yes, he can reach him. He reaches him and he's going to take a shot. So you guys hear clang, clang, and you guys kind of look up. You see Sir Carl engage with the ranged skeleton at the top. And the skeleton's turn, and he kind of turns and shoots at Sir Carl with disadvantage, so he would miss. Any other skeletons? I think that we have other ranged ones. Right. That bastard's mowing you guys down. Let's see who he's going to shoot at. Foliana's out of her cover, correct?
Sure.
Looks like it. And coming your way.
She's not.
Ah! it just clacks. This arrow bolt just clacks right at your feet.
Yep. Foliana scoops it up with a graceful motion and loads it into her own bow.
Back to the zombies. This one, Torquel and misses. Let's see which other ones we have here. And they're closing in on Taleb. Just sprinting towards him, but their sprint is more like a slow shamble. And Torquel, you
A comfortable jog.
Uh-huh.
Nope.
Oh.
No. Oh, 8. Yeah, that kills him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did I hit him with an 8?
The zombies have awful AC. It's 8. Wow. So what happens is sad sack of guts.
And I guess I will move that.
Taleb continues to run. Oh, they're coming towards me! And Julius.
That would provoke an... If he dashes, that would provoke an attack of opportunity.
Even if he wasn't
when
engaged?
if you,
Oh, okay.
the rule for that is if you leave an opponent's reach, that provokes it without having done a disengage.
Let's just take a shot. See what... Oh, he would have hit. Took 2.
Ow.
Tis but a scratch.
A scratch could kill him. Who knows?
Yeah, he would have only been able to run 30, so... well, you could still sprint if he took the attack. Julius, you're up.
So Julius, seeing the shambling dead over here, is going to divert his attention. So Tiffin, defend me. And he will step back 1 step and...
Also, Julius, I just want to point out, because I'm running a D&D with the Warlock, your temporary hit points can never be more than... You either take the new one or keep the old.
So just swap it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. You'll never have more than your highest roll.
Okay. So
You never got hit, so you just leave it.
Yeah.
So
Still
you
pretty good.
So you just leave it at
Still
at 7.
really good.
Because when you take damage, it starts going from the temporary ones first.
That's right.
Right.
So
So
you can start
then
taking
if he
damage and
kills
then
again,
go back
he
up.
just kind of pushes it back up again. Yep.
So it stays at 7. You don't keep adding them on.
Right.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah. 7. So think of it as 7 is the most you'll ever have. 7.
So
Gotcha.
say if you took 6 damage, that would bring you down to 1 temporary, and you could
Right.
kill somebody else and bring it back up to 7.
You bring it back up to 7.
Okay. No, I was wondering about the mechanics on that. That's fun. So yeah, he will step back and then Eldritch Blast looks good right here.
Oh my.
Indeed.
Very nice.
Not dead though. Zombies have a lot of HPs.
Oh.
So he scorches it and it's still walking, and
Yeah.
Julius looks a bit intrigued after that. Most things die when that happens.
Yeah, it's like there's this big blue cloud, and you're sure like it's gonna be a crumbled heap at the bottom, and then out of this blue cloud of flame just starts to continue walking. And Foliana, you're up.
She scoops up the arrow that this skeleton shot at her
Mm-hmm.
and does a roll across the floor behind this pillar and shoots it right back at it.
Why don't you just give me to go up there, as you go up that elevation, it's a double move. Just give me athletics at 10.
How about acrobatics?
Yeah, that's So
That's more her style. Oh, that wasn't amazing. A 1.
Are
Okay.
you sure?
Well, this is the thing. She's trained for years in this, but she's really not battle hardened at all.
You can move there and take
so-
your shots, so you just don't get all
Well,
the way.
I think what she was trying to do was show off and kind of do this roll, like scoop it up and roll and look really cool, and instead she comes up short and she has no cover. So she kind of looks momentarily embarrassed and lets off the shot and says, "I meant to do that." And that's 118. I forget what my range is on this thing.
So you have a long, what type of bow you have?
That's just a short bow. She's a little thing. Yeah, I don't know. What does it say? Oh, range is... So
80.
anything over 80 has disadvantage. So I
Probably should
guess
have that
that's
on.
actually a little bit of a far shot. So she'll change up her strategy and go for the zombie that's right there. Or you know what? No, she'll take the shot. She wants that one. Let's see if I can hit it. 17.
Yes.
No sneak attack though.
What does it look like if that one is dropped?
The arrow arcs and it probably looks like it's gonna miss, but it comes suddenly kind of down out of the darkness and hits it right in the skull. And even Foliana looks a little bit momentarily surprised, but then she kind of stiffens up and looks, proud again.
Sir Tiffin kind of looks over at you. He can't see through the dark. Did you hit it?
Foliana says, "What do you think?"
He doesn't say anything, but you're probably thinking after that little fumble, he's just not sure. All right. Sir Tiffin continues to stand on Julius's side. And Tarben, you're up.
Alright. Tarben will just back up to this one and give it a good smash.
It's a good smash.
Yep. He continues.
Is that
Forward.
your dagger called? Is that your dagger that's called Maul?
As opposed to the maul called dagger.
Yes,
Exactly.
Let's see what Sir Carl can do with this guy. 14 hits. And kills him. Threat neutralized. And skeletons, are there any left? Oh, no. Zombies, there are 2 left. And both of them will go towards Tarben Giant's Blood. 18.
Oh, Tarben.
6 damage.
Ah, Tarben curses.
Oh, they can only move 20 at a time. Can you get within range? Close enough. Another 7 damage. So you guys all see Tarben just swarmed by these last 2. Rah! He's a mountain of a man, but they're like crawling up on his body.
Just watch. He can take him.
Strike them down, bloody giant!
Ooh, Stone's Endurance.
Nice.
1d12 plus 3. Very good.
That was a Pebble's endurance, but still pretty good.
All right, Torquel.
He smashes the pillar. You need something to smash.
Moving 30 feet.
Starts taking off more torches.
Oh yeah, I want my torch back. Where's my torch?
You can dash 60 if you need to.
Sure.
And Taylor doesn't do anything. Julius.
So Julius will beckon Tiffin to go aid where Giant's blood. I require no aid, Tiffin. I'm in no danger.
Doesn't change a thing.
I think you're open mic in there, Raven.
Sorry.
He's singing.
But Julius will then look to Giant's blood, not being concerned about anything else going on. It seems as though everything is proceeding smoothly despite the setback, and will launch another Eldritch Blast at the one that first engaged toward Giant's blood.
That would kill him. But 5 plus damage taken. So what's that? 14. So 19. Probably won't
Oh,
make
he's
that.
got it. It's fine.
So that's 5 plus. This is against 19.
Why?
Had to be.
So he has 1 left now. So you just strike this thing down, and Tarben feels it like let go of him, but then it like from the ground leaps up again onto Tarben. Foliana, your turn.
She walks a little bit more calmly now as she kind of looks around to make sure that there aren't any sneaky things, but they don't seem to be very sneaky. And she'll just kind of almost casually put an arrow into that zombie again that's up front. That would be 23 with 15 damage.
See if it can make its DC 20 save.
Not this
Now
time.
that finishes it off. It like flies backward several feet, just crumbles to the ground. Sir Tiffin will move to Lord Tarben's side. His longsword flashes, it hits. Doing 7 damage. Alright, Lord Giant's blood.
The injured Tarben rears back with his maul, swings for the thing's, sort of the collarbone. Ah! Oh, for crying out loud. And I have to change the zoom so I can click on the enemy. There we go.
That was decent.
More than decent.
It was pretty good.
Your maul makes an impact, like caves in the left side of his head, but it just kind of turns to you and its jaw drops off. It continues to try to throttle your throat. Carl's just going to start moving back to you guys. And zombie's turn. Nothing. It tries to bite at you, but as it only has a maxilla and no mandible, doesn't do much.
I was gonna say it bit its own tongue off with that one. Oh well.
Torquel.
Runs over and jumps on the thing. Looks around in anticipation.
That one's already open. You look inside. Only darkness greets you.
Aw.
And Julius.
Julius, seeing that there is little else remaining, is again gonna take a few steps to get a better angle and then launch another Eldritch Blast into this walking corpse.
Very nice.
Yeah, actually 6 HP's left. So he only has to make a, 5 plus
11.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Not this time. Not this time. What happens to him?
So, one hand, again, bright blue flame flying from it, but then brings up the second hand and just kind of torches it both hands, endless flame, until it starts to just crumple. You make sure he watches it go to the ground this time, and will actually slow advance to push it into the ground further with his flames.
With that, the combat's over. As you guys are all breathing heavy, you look around, perhaps ready for the next wave of undead enemies to come rushing forth. But again, it seems to be dark. The oppressive darkness around you. Both of the crypts are kind of ajar. You're left alone.
Don't your hands ever get hot, Julius?
They did it first, but when you become accustomed to the pain, it no longer bothers you. Well, now that distraction is dealt with, back to task.
What's Torquel doing down there?
Getting a new torch.
Seems our rabbit is looking for more holes to poke his head into.
It is for your own good that I stay down here. My rage is not abated.
And Julius will raise an eyebrow and look at Foliana.
Caleb trundles in. He's all bloodied up, scratched up. His left eye is swollen, nearly shut. Oh, he barely survived that. I suppose now we should get back to work. And tell your friend to stop poking his head where it doesn't belong.
Does it belong anywhere?
A good point. Julius looks to Caleb and Tarben. Will the two of you be alright to continue?
Nothing but a scratch.
Caleb nods. I've seen worse days. I also suppose it's time to make myself useful. Oh, Giant Spud, would you come here? Let me have a look at you.
Tarben approaches the good doc.
Doctor kind of holds the torch up with his left hand, looks you over. What do your wounds look like there?
I guess it's mostly claw damage around his throat from the zombie.
Yeah, you got a bunch of scratches and stuff around your throat that are still bleeding a bit. He's going to kind of look down at his pouch and take a few things out and says, sit here on the sarcophagus. On second thoughts, go sit on the steps. Your weight might be too much. These things are old as the hills. And regains number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus 2. Can't do it again. Okay, sounds not bad. And get back to 4. He kind of patches you up, and most of the bleeding is stopped from around your throat. Now, this is all included in the charge of the adventure. If anybody else needs patching up, I'm happy to make myself useful as the elf prances around and reads these sarcophagi. He kind of sits down and busies himself with a mortar and pestle as the rest of you kind of go about the area. What's Torquel look like as he finally enters within the torchlight?
He's bloodied. I can assure you, my rage is abated. You are safe now.
Good news for all of us, I think.
Indeed.
Were you enraged before opening all those doors?
I opened no doors.
Hmm.
Taylor kind of walks over to Torquel. Here, let me take a look at you. Patches him up. You would gain 8 HP if you would like.
Certainly doesn't want to appear like he needed it, but he will definitely accept.
What about you, Julius?
Julius, his wounds seem mostly closed for now. If Caleb approaches him, he waves him away. No, but you can look at these creatures for me. He's scratching his chin. Julius is very intrigued about the durability of these, because he's not seen many things that could survive giant's blood hitting it or them being scorched by magic flame, so he's very interested in this.
Indeed. I've heard of such things in tales, but fortunately, these sorts of incidences are not very common, at least in the waking world. It's a good thing I have you along, Lord Tarisk. Seems your talents have come in handy.
My coin is what will come in handy for you. Your talents are useful to me.
Yeah, Taylor walks over to the nearest zombie and sticks his finger in like the smoking ruins and says, "My assessment? He's quite dead. Twice over."
Great powers of observation.
Did this man make a joke?
Second death is a relief.
As you guys kind of wander throughout the crypt, Julius, you suddenly kind of start to have a very bad headache, and then you start to hear a voice kind of speak into your mind. Kind of the same as before, from a voice you're very familiar with, but this one's much different. You sense a lot more power and cruelty. Here's something to say. This is just the ghost. I sense your presence, mysterious one. Though your identity is hidden to me, your strength is not. For long here have I rested in this prison, and long have I been without any taste of power or vision, until now. And the remains of the zombies around you kind of quiver and become still again. The voice inside Julius's head says, "You have disturbed my slumber, O mysterious one, but to be roused from such a stupor is most welcome. I sense your powers are great, but I could make them greater still. Do you see how easily I seared my will into your mind? Indeed, I am more terrible than that which currently sustains you. My wrath is great, and it could be yours. Delve deeply and find my resting place, and you will know my power. Pay no heed to the vain pleas of elvish apparitions, for their power is bound by the chains of time, and my glory is eternal. Come deeper, advance within, so that I may lend my wrath to your cause, and bind myself to you. We will have armies, riches, splendor, power, and peace." And what does Julius look like as this has this horrible headache and this thing is spoken?
Yeah, so he, as they're kind of meandering around through the crypt, will lean up against the wall or the nearest sarcophagi and kind of presses his hand to his head and begin rubbing his temples, one hand and then a second hand on the other temple, balling his hands into fists against his head. But towards the end of the internal dialogue, as it was, eyes start to open, and there's an intrigue in them among the pain. He kind of straightens himself if the headache starts to subside. And he looks around. Have we found anything else? Other passageways?
Caleb is kind of looking around and kind of shakes his head at you. You can see the torch lights his dark features as Foliana examines the sarcophagus. She sees the inscriptions that she looked at before, but still no tomb of Elfgar.
Is there anything inside this that it opened up?
Yep. There's an ancient shield and a sword there. Both of them are very notched and kind of dilapidated.
Can she tell anything about their origins or?
Give me a is it lore? Get my systems mixed up.
There isn't a lore, but
History.
History is probably the closest thing that I found.
Yeah, give me a history at TN 12. Absolutely. Yep. You notice the emblem on the shield. Obviously the blade and the shield are of elven make. You know that they're from Southlandia, and with a roll like that, the crest of this person, whose last name is Gilthonien, you recognize as the family emblem of the elvish family that has served the Gretties for generations. And you always even
served us.
Served you.
So what does this tell me about how? I mean, would I be surprised to find these here?
I think you'd be quite surprised. It was a shock already to realize that Elfgar and that whole family was of elven descent. How they, existed among the humans for such a long time and not be run out or just go back home to Southlandia is very odd. You have heard rumors like that hundreds of years ago, before the Gilthonians really started serving your family, that there was some mingling of the blood, and the two families are very close. The Gilthonians, though, serve the Gretties honorably now.
Okay. I won't disturb these things. If I would assume I don't recognize these as some sort of cultural treasure or anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, I just leave them. If there's nothing else in there that I can perceive, I'll climb out.
Caleb kind of comes to your side. What is it, Foliana? Anything of importance? Otherwise, I suggest we gather our resources and continue.
Nothing of great monetary value.
What's Torquel and Tarben up to here?
Torquel's just looking around.
Yeah, now that Tarben's neck is patched up, he will have a look at this sarcophagus that the zombies were coming out of.
You see the inscription on it that was read earlier. It's in Elvish, which might as well be chicken scratch to you, it appears. Otherwise, you see in there's some old jewelry and like the ruins, old bones and dust, but nothing else in that one.
Foliana will read it for him if she sees him kind of looking at it, kind of perplexed.
There's that one again.
She says, "Here lies Liliath Venin, jewel of Southlandia and most beautiful daughter of Lord Egnor and Etel."
Tarben looks at the zombies on the floor. Not so beautiful anymore.
No, corrupted.
Yeah, the two knights kind of just stand on the steps, awaiting orders.
I'll take a look at these jewels in there to see if they tell me anything about their owner.
Yeah, you, without even having to roll, so the roller that is obviously Elvish jewelry from Southlandia, and very, very old appearing, very, very precious jewelry. It probably is an heirloom of some sort. The family name you have heard of, but it's a name from old stories. Not a family that's currently in power.
Okay. A family with a good or ill reputation?
A good reputation.
Okay.
Although, obviously in these old myths and legends, there's always, in each family there are a few bad apples, but...
Sure. But they're not infamous. Alright, well she doesn't disturb them more than she has to.
Julius will look about and we'll look to the two knights on the stairs, and two of you start looking around for ways to go further. There's more to this place, I feel, than what is here.
Two knights kind of just nod and start to trundle off into the darkness.
Foliana says, I think if we intend to disturb this place further, we might be better served by sticking closer together and not going off wandering around looking for trouble.
When we know the route forward, we will reconvene. It's a wise idea to stay together, especially considering what just happened, but I think the threat is past for the moment.
As Julius says that, Foliana, why don't you give me a perception check just at 12. Yeah, you say, yeah, when Julius says that, it's almost as if he's very sure that everything has subsided, at least for the moment. And that odd gleam in his eye for earlier just kind of comes to mind.
Foliana just dismiss it as a typical noble's arrogance of thinking they know everything. That she'd read too much into that. You know, not that she's ever done that.
Julius will
Eventually.
start to... Oh, good.
Oh, you got.
I was going to say he's going to start walking around to try to find more passageways.
Yeah, as you kind of walk around and explore the chamber, sticking together, the crypts that opened up from before seem to be mostly empty. The dead denizens that shambled out of them seem to be their only inhabitants for hundreds of years. There is one closed door at the end, though, that's still closed, and it is here that the knights have stopped after kind of searching the rest of the chamber. And as they do that, they're kind of looking around for a lever, a way to open the door.
Is this not a closed door? It's open?
Yeah, that one's open. That should be open.
Okay, just checking.
Alright.
Well, Foliana will walk up and take a look. See if she can make out any inscription. I assume there's no handle or anything on the door.
Mm-mm.
Or inscriptions other than the one on the floor. Seems to match the sarcophagi.
Torquel.
Oh dear.
Had to walk off his
Well,
rage.
enjoy your walkabout. Oh my. So, seeing this mark on the floor, she says, I wonder if there's anything in the sarcophagi or a latch or switch anywhere that might release this door, since there's a symbol on the floor in front of it.
As you look down, there's kind of a low rumble. And as Julius, are you approaching at this point?
Yes, I would have begun walking up the stairs.
Yeah, as you approach, it just seems to open. So
Curious.
it kind of rolls
Foliana
up.
thinks it opened because she stepped on the thing, like Torquel did. He goes, ah. Well. The way seems open.
Please allow me to go first, my lady. Sir Tiffin says.
I never refuse a chivalrous offer, especially when there's danger ahead.
Kind of from underneath his armor, just kind of looks at you with a scowl, and they both kind of trundle forward.
They're like synchronized swimmers. That was impressive.
Much practice in the halls.
Yeah.
Night school.
We require them to walk in step at Fissenfeld.
Cool. I'm sure they do routines in chorus scene. With footwork impeccable.
Coming, Doctor?
Oh, never far behind. Just replenishing my healer's kit here. Comes ahead, leaving you guys.
What's he doing when he says he's replenishing his healer's kit?
You just see him kind of messing around with all the satchers at his side.
What?
Well, he's near a crypt, so I just wonder what he's replenishing with.
A little bit.
You see like a finger sticking out of his mouth.
That, yeah.
Questionable individual we have with us.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know what type of doctor he is.
We can
yeah.
we can replace this finger with this old one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you kind of come into this area. You see there's another crypt there, with some flames flickering, and this is a larger chamber, more ornate, but at this point it's just still eerily quiet.
Foliana sees this mark on the floor and she wants to look at that. Does she recognize that at all, or any elements of it?
Give me a history check this time. Let's make it a little harder. 15.
No.
No, not this one. You recognize that as some sort of arcane symbol, but beyond that, no. Wise choice of music. I thought you were too young. You're too young for this music.
No, not at all.
You are also in high school.
Good old
Foliana.
classics never die.
Foliano then kind of brushed past the symbol on the floor and says, this symbol is unusual, probably lost from an old age. And she'll walk up to the sarcophagus and expecting to see runes on the side of it.
And Caleb just looks at it. I agree. It is lost and beyond my skills as well. Kind of follows in her footsteps as almost like a little puppy dog. Finally gets to this one here. And as you kneel down, you kind of blow away the dust and raise your torch. You can see, and it says, "Here lies Elfgar, son of Elfgar Gilthonien. May his soul rest in eternal peace at the side of his Lord Resplendent, until the end of days when our bright Lord makes his return."
I assume this sounds appropriate and not odd. for
It
an
does.
elf. Yeah.
Sounds appropriate. The religious stuff might be a little bit odd, depending on who buried him.
Mm-hmm.
But all pretty normal stuff.
Okay. The Bright Lord, that's the Lord Resplendent. Bright
Yes,
Bright
yes.
Lord, that all sounds legit. Okay. Well, she'll read it out loud to everybody, and then says, "It seems this was quite the family affair here."
Talon
Is
just-
this the normal way that elves bury their dead? Foliana?
That's a question for Bo.
Oh, that's a question for
I
you.
don't
How do you
know.
think?
It strikes me as a little odd.
A
Certain
little mannish.
She'll say, yeah, she'll say it is not unheard of, but not common at all. It's also strange to see members of this family so far away from home. But she says we typically do not like to be buried underground in cold crypts like this. It is preferable to be buried either in the woods or to be cremated and scattered.
And they're all related? The crypt, the bodies in the crypts?
Well, this is the son of the one we just left.
And he died before the others?
I do not know. These names are not known to me. His family left, apparently, or a part of this family left my homeland, obviously. I had not heard of their fate.
Not the father greater than the son?
It does not say.
Is that not your culture?
It is the culture to honor the father until the father dies. It does not mean he was greater in truth. Sometimes the child outshines the parent. She kind of stands up a little straighter when that.
Very true. Julius looks at the symbol on the floor as he says it. Well, this is what we were looking for, isn't it?
Talon, is it?
Taleb kind of has been kneeling at the coffins, running his hands over the inscriptions. Says, indeed it is. Torquel, right here we have the first of many great things we'll do. Why don't you and Lord Giant's Blood come over here and open up this thing so we can be done with this business.
When Foliana hears that, she steps back and knocks another arrow. Just kind of. She said, just remember what happened the last time we disturbed the dead.
You sure this is a great thing, Doctor? Robbing graves?
Not robbing graves, merely preserving history.
Oh. Much better.
And it does look like as Tarben and Torquel strain against this thing and it starts to budge.
Tarben gets his fingers some purchase under the lid, drains, veins and tendons stick out in his neck.
As it starts to groan and creak with the effort. I wonder who's pulling most of the weight though.
Tarben.
Why don't you guys both give me a strength check? Just for RP purposes.
You lift it.
Contest.
Let's do under ability then strength. Tarkle 16. 6. Tarkle is
Bully.
right. So your end comes off like way earlier, and Sir Carl looks over to Torvis and says, "Don't worry, my lord. I won't tell anyone."
Tarben says, "No, you won't." Thrusts the sword into his chest.
And Torquel, though, as he looks down into the sarcophagus, starts to see this green glow that grows brighter and brighter. And from the sarcophagus, there's this green glow, and it coalesces into a humanoid form and starts to float above you.
We're here to preserve history. We're not robbing your grave.
It starts to talk and kind of floats around the room. Who has come here and disturbed the stasis of the place? Do you not know that Terreton is much more than a resting place of merchants and nobles? Much more. And yet you come, and your mere presence is enough to wake the dead. The ghost of Elfgar gazes down at you and circumambulates the cold stone chamber. His green eyes glow and highlights the smooth stone. Nay, you seem more to me than paupers and grave robbers. It is fate that led you here, and my gaze is not limited by stone, earth, or time. Kind of floats around and ends up behind Julius. And Julius can feel like this coldness spread up and down his spine. He says, "You are here to set my spirit free by utterly destroying that which lies beneath us. For if you know your true history, Grey Walkers, you know of Zorro the Vanquished, that his spirit still dwells here, imprisoned far below my own tomb. Do this thing, and my ancestors' spirits lie restless, and the pious marches will be released from their vain sleep and free to roam the land and bring glory back to that which was once called Valhalla." Kind of starts to float around the room above you all. How are you reacting to this?
Tarben drops his into the lid.
Julius definitely takes note of it and is tracking it around the room, considering what this ghoul, this ghost says, but also remembering what he had heard in his own mind, and is silent for now.
Yeah, Foliana is not saying anything, but she's feeling the strange mix of a little bit of fear, but also kind of marvel at seeing a dead ancestor of her people she has not seen before.
It just kind of floats around, and as it passes each of you, just a chill goes up your spine, and your fingertips feel like they have been dipped in ice water. And it kind of just says, "What? You are all speechless? Do not let it be said that fear bound your tongue. My grandfather, Arcanus Gilthonien, oft spoke of a company that would appear at a time of great need, just as his army of elves and men did appear near Vanhar during the days of old. It is said that this company will contain within it all parts of Arcanus. The north," stops next to Torquel, looks at the barbarian. "The south," and he kind of stops near Foliana, and then finally rests near Giant's Blood, and then Julius. "And even users of magic, and one whose blood has been mingled with the very giants of the earth. Go forth now and do this deed of mine, and time will remember you. Indeed, and almost as if he could read Torquel's mind, he says, it is a very great deed.
You
And at that point, if they should choose, the door starts to slide up again, leading further onwards.
And Julius looks to him, and has the apparition dissipated, or has it gone back in the crypt, or is it still floating about?
It's still there.
And Julius will look to Elfgar. We will find this demon, this being. Is this the way forward?
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. It kind of floats around and stops again next to Julius. Something about him is troubling the apparition, and he stops in front of Julius and almost takes his old humanoid shape of old. This tall, proud elf, and looks at Julius. He says, I wonder what your intentions are here, grave walker. And he looks into your eyes, Julius, and as you look into his eyes, it's almost like hundreds of years past. You see horrible battles, the pious marches just lit with flame and lightning shining from the mountaintops. And I want you to do this thing here. Make a DC 13 wisdom saving.
Age many years. Alright. Where is it?
Oh my.
Nope.
Let's do saves. Nope. And it did fail by 5 or more.
It did indeed.
1d4 years. So you age 4 years.
Oh my, he's gonna grow hair in places he didn't know he could grow hair.
So what does it look like as you look at him? It's like almost years past. You see all this ancient history. So basically though, the only bonus though is all that stuff that happened in the prologue, it just like downloaded into your brain and it's seared. And Elfgar kind of looks into you and like maybe, I don't know, hair grows, wrinkles start to form just a little bit. I see you know my mind, Lord Tarisk. I see that you will have difficult choices to make. Just know where your loyalty lies. You've already made one deal. Do not betray it for another. Go forth. The demon of Vanhar awaits.
Julius will kind of rub his hands against his face. And I will go forth. He looks to the apparition one more time and looks back to the rest. Slightly older looking than 19. And says, we go deeper. We're not done yet.
And as that happens,
Well-
you guys kind of starts to fade back into the...
Foliana kind of, seeing that it's starting to fade, she suddenly kind of snaps into action and rushes forward a little bit and says, wait, tell us more of what lies ahead. and why this deed is so important.
And as it is about to fade back into the sarcophagus, the green intense glow kind of returns, and the apparition floats through the air, stops near Foliana, and Foliana, her breath kind of comes in like ice crystals form in the air almost, as it starts to look into her face, and the ghost has a half of a grin, and it's almost like, don't know what to expect.
She's
And it's-
trying to stand like she's not afraid, but not sure she's not a bit unnerved. Yep.
And then the ghost will continue, says, "Who is this elf that comes here to our subterranean realm to question me, deeds long past?" Continues and says, "I suppose I do feel a certain kinship to you," and it kind of floats around her back. If a ghost could sniff a living thing, it would almost be doing that as it's trying to sense Foliana. And he kind of stops in front of her. "Ah, yes. That familiar feeling. I suppose you're not familiar with the tale of Von Har, but let me recount it to you." He kind of goes over many of the deeds from the prologue. And he says, "It is up to you to do what my grandfather could not, Foliana Gredi."
And why has this been kept secret among my people? Why does no one speak of it anymore?
Your people are far to the south. Many of them do not care much for the northern realms. And who's to say that the very wise do not speak of this? Perhaps you met a man in town? A very wise man by the name of Harlan? There are eyes upon you even now, young lady.
Harlan, you say? You see beyond this grave of yours?
And the ghost sinks into the ground. And it kind of just reappears on the other side of the room, floating up through the old stone. And I see many things. My vision is not limited by stone or earth, and my thoughts are timeless, Foliana.
And yet I do not envy you.
You are wise beyond your years. Until this demon is vanquished, I will not rest peaceful, nor those vanquished in the pious margin. But if you do this thing, the loyalty of their undying spirits will be yours when most needed.
Her eyes narrow a little bit at that. There's thoughts, little wheels turning inside her head at the moment. And for a moment she's not focused on the apparition anymore. If he knows her thoughts, she is thinking about that if she does something like this, she could return to her people in triumph and show them all how foolish they were to turn her away.
Yeah, basically what his bargain is do this thing, and all those soldiers will basically rise from the dead in the pious marches. Beers.
Yeah, she doesn't care about that. She
Yep.
just cares about the fact that if she does this, she can go home a hero.
A very
whatever-
great deed.
Yes.
What's Torquel thinking about all these bargains going on with this ghost.
Torquel doesn't like ghosts particularly. Torquel doesn't like undead army. Torquel doesn't like demons. Torquel's not particularly impressed with great deeds here. But he'll see what he can do.
Unless he's stopped at this point, he will fade back into the ground.
Yeah, Foliana hardly even notices that moment until he's gone, and then she looks
Yeah.
up kind of surprised.
Yeah, the coldness has kind of gone away from the air now. It's back in the dark, dank dungeon. Caleb kind of leans against the sarcophagus now. Well, lords and ladies, I suppose I should address you that way. I dare say that this is not exactly what I bargained for now, so I don't know if I'm much fond of striking deals with apparitions. I may take my leave and go topside, but some small part of me says there's a part for me to play here, and I would be doing you a misdeed by abandoning you in this time of need. After all, there's nobody to patch you up after you nearly get yourself killed. Looks at Tarben.
And Tarben returns his characteristic scowl.
The
And
night.
Foliana looks at Caleb with momentary curiosity and a little bit of suspicion that his stated reason may very well not be his real reason, but doesn't know what that would be.
Yes, Doctor, I'm afraid you'll have to stay with us for this trek. We're not quite done here, I don't believe.
Well then, lead onward.
Julius will look to the others and then turn to walk into the room.
As you enter the room, the doors to the side, and there's this really heavy iron grate there with a ring, and down below it you can see a spiral staircase kind of descending into the depths, and you can hear the faint sound of trickling water, some rushing water down there below, and it's sort of tipping along. Kind of gets on one side of it, and Sir Carl gets on the other, and they lift up the grate. Lords and ladies first.
Yeah. That's just great.
Julius will begin making his way down the stairs, looking around.
Tarben won't let Julius get very far away.
Alright, my bladder's going to explode. 5-7 minute break.
Alright, I will put a pause in.
Alright.
We have resumed.
Alright, welcome back. After that short urinary extravaganza.
Woohoo!
Get to be an old man like us, ghosts, you know. I don't have prostate issues quite yet.
Oh, don't worry, you will. We can see, yeah.
There you go, should be. Should be able to see there, right?
Oh no,
No.
I can
Oh,
see.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, we just
I
moved.
see.
Further-
I see
further
things
south.
I shouldn't be able to see.
Yes, I suspect I shouldn't see those either, but it's all right.
That's fine, whatever.
We've already forgotten about them.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
So as you kind of go down the stairs, the dark, damp dungeon gets a little bit warmer, and you hear the sound of rushing and trickling water in the distance. Finally, you get to the bottom of the staircase, and just the stench hits your nostrils. Just putrid. You don't know what it is. Just decaying flesh and excrement. That's the smell of hell warmed over. Hits your nostrils.
Julius kind of covers his nose with his hand for a moment and coughs.
Yeah, Foliana just twists her face in distaste. Says, the air is telling us we should not be here.
Yes, but we were not smart enough to listen to the ghosts, so why should we listen to the air?
The ghost told us to come here, Torquel.
If we wanted the dead to rise. I don't want dead rising for me or against me.
As long as you put it down again, what does it matter? Gives you something to do.
I can think of things to do. Little elf.
She kind
But
of...
if you're so gung ho, take the point.
I didn't say I wanted to lead. Although, perhaps in the stories I will have. She sees this thing over here. What is that? It looks like a throne of sorts.
Just
Next to Tarben.
this is refuse pile, and if you go through it, Tarben actually speaks Scavari and knows of them. It's a kind of heaped upon this pile of refuse and excrement is this crudely constructed totem. It's like a skull pierced through many times with iron nails and a spear jabbed through the bottom of it, sticking out like a hideous tongue.
This is Scavari work.
I hear they're nasty little creatures. Never met one.
There are quite a few in Fristenfeld. They have their uses.
Sir Tiffin steps on a trap.
Oh, you turn your torches on too. There you go.
Oh, that's a good
Let you
idea.
see it a little better. Sir Tiffin and Sir Carl kind of move to the front, turn their torches on. And they're pretty silent. You kind of hear Carl kind of retch as he kind of comes forward.
What is this? Next to Foliana.
Just like a pile of skulls. Most of them are crushed. Some of them appear to be human. Some are look like woodland creatures.
Like arranged or just discarded?
Just discarded.
Carelessly.
Big,
Alright.
big pile of excrement next to one of them.
A pleasant abode for a demonic spirit.
Two knights kind of continue on, scouting up ahead. The path is clear, my lords. Although watch your step. They don't quite know what this is. I think it might have been living at some point.
Are these human remains?
There are some things that look like they could be human. You kneel down towards the ground, and what looks to be like a human pelvis is like right underneath your right knee, and it just kind of crunches underneath your weight as you kneel down upon it.
Yeah. She takes a little scented cloth and covers her mouth with it, nose. Kind of kneels down, or takes a half knee and kind of starts rooting through it with her rapier, just kind of poking to see if there's anything interesting.
You push aside most of the bones, and just like before, there's like a large pile of feces there.
Yeah, she's not interested after that. A fire.
Still burning.
She'll take her bow out and string it again.
Julius looks around. Still lit, burning fire. He can see the glimmer in the corner here. This is not the work of mere spirits.
I must have lost track of where I had a fire. Where do you see it? Because I don't see it on the screen.
Right there.
Is that not supposed to be there?
Yeah, I wonder if it got sent to back or something. Hang on, let me try.
And now it's going to disappear in front of us, so we're really going to be concerned.
Foliana said, certainly spirits do not consume flesh and toss them in piles.
Something lives in this place.
The giant's blood said Scaveri, did he not?
It's just weird. I can't see anything over there.
Yes, that was a Scaveri totem.
Does it not follow then that this is likely a den of theirs? You would know more about them.
Tarben looks around. Is the sort of place they prefer.
She says, there, in the corner there, and she points this way. She can see a little better. Is there any light at all, or pitch black?
It wasn't
down
supposed
there?
to be. It's supposed to be over here. Where? Now you should probably see it.
All right. She says,
There you go.
I see glitterings.
Should be to your left side of the map.
Okay, so she does
That's
not.
just weird. That right side, I don't see anything at all down there.
She does not see this pile of things there. Then.
Oh yeah, that's just more refuse.
Ah, it's very nice looking refuse. All right, that does not draw her attention then. She'll walk up between the two armored men.
And as you walk up between the two armored men, they're kind of perched here near the steps. And as they see you walk around the corner, they kind of look at you and give you the quiet sign, kind of point up. In front of you, you see some sort of subterranean stream, probably an outcropping of the river that's outside Terreton. It's kind of delves into the rock table and has made this sort of whirlpool of sorts. in this chamber it's actually warm. And there's a hissing steam that just kind of rises from the middle of this thing, drifting upwards and upwards into the top of the cavern, eventually kind of leaving maybe through vent holes. You can see though that they're just there's a campfire on the far side of this thing, and there's a bridge, and scattered about this whole area you see these creatures that are all gnarled and covered in sores that are either kind of fighting amongst each other or bent over partaking of some sort of meal. Heat them. There is some sort of guard set. There seem to be 2 of them kind of on top of this bridge, kind of maintaining a lookout.
Do they appear to have seen us?
Why don't you give me a stealth? With advantage.
I doubt I'll do better than that.
Yeah, they will.
Nope.
Let's see here. No, they do not see you yet. As you kind of come through, and perhaps you're able to warn the rest of the party to lay low.
Yeah, I'll put up a hand behind me and I'll kind of gently tug on each of the 2 knights to pull them back. Obviously not very consistently, but just kind of give them the idea to get out of sight, hopefully. And then she'll press up against the wall here.
They kind of fall back and wait further instruction.
Foliana will kind of, she'll turn and she'll very quietly describe what is seen. There's some small camp up ahead of creatures. I assume these are the Scavari Tarben mentioned. I count perhaps 10 of them. They're guarding a bridge, rather insecure looking bridge, I might add.
Do you see any other way around?
I do not. Unless we enter the water, which I do not think is advised. It appears to be a whirlpool of sorts.
Tarben, what say you? You're a man of wartime strategy. How would you approach this situation?
If we can get the drop on them, we should be able to take these Scavari.
If we rush the bridge, we must attack with great speed and get across the bridge before the rest can react, or we will have a very hard.
How sturdy is this bridge?
I assume it doesn't appear to be particularly sturdy. Is that...
No, but it's not going to collapse, obviously. No, it's something that probably you could collapse if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was sort of what Tarben was wondering. You know, is it the movie rope bridge that we get halfway across and they can
Yeah.
cut out from under us?
Yeah,
That's exactly what Foliana's worried about.
Oh yeah, possibly they could do that if they're smart enough to think of it.
She says, I suggest that Torquel and Tarben rush the 2 on the bridge while Julius and I pick off anyone that tries to cut the bridge.
Tarben likes this plan.
Caleb liked this plan as well. Sounds like a good plan to me. I'll stay in the rear. If anybody becomes wounded, you know where to find me.
Or we could send Caleb first to draw their attention, and then retreat.
I would highly advise against that strategy. It quite likely results in my untimely demise. I would hate for my teeth to end up in one of these piles of refuse here.
Yes, we might have to grind your teeth into some sort of He
looks down at his pouch and like pokes the skeleton finger back into it.
Well, I see no other course of action. Unless we are going to try to lure them across, but I think Foliana's plan would work fine.
Alright, then Foliana says, I will creep up into position to get a clear shot on the right side of the bridge. Julius, if you watch for any on the left side. When you gentlemen are ready, we'll cover you. And
Sir Carl and Tiffin, they draw their long swords as well.
And Foliana will creep, cautiously taking her time up like this, ready to stop if she thinks she's drawing any attention at all.
You're not. We're still using your stealth rolls, so you can get no
Okay,
position.
so she's just gonna try to get to here, and stay down with her bow. Not quite drawn, but ready to draw.
And the two knights kind of creep down until it's clear that they're not going to be able to go further without being spotted.
I
Okay.
guess I assume she can see that they're
Yeah,
different now, right? That there's things on the bridge that are different things across the bridge. How are they armed?
Yes. They're not. The ones on the bridge are not. They're just like
Okay.
hideously knobs everywhere, horns everywhere. And you, with your keen sense of smell, the smell is coming from them. It's just wafting, like the whirlpools, like the air is kind of blowing it your way.
Right,
And
right.
you almost want to retch as you approach them.
Yeah. Ugh. What about the littler things? Are they carrying weapons that I can see?
Yeah, they have bows.
Bows. Uh-huh. Okay.
How close are the knights able to get before they can't go any further?
As close as you can. You can make a stealth with advantage against to see how close exactly you can get. And I know you don't have surprise rounds in this, but I would give you one surprise round, and then we would roll initiative.
Well, do you know how surprise works? It's everybody rolls
Advantage.
initiative, and anyone that is surprised basically does nothing on their turn except stop being surprised.
I would probably give you guys a whole round of those attacks. Just in this context.
Roll20 is now telling me my connection to the server has been interrupted.
Aww.
Sure, we'll come back. What's Torquel up to?
Torquel is just getting ready.
It's creeping.
He's a creeper.
Actually, that's really not his style, but
No,
we
not
can
really.
do it for now.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a stealth with advantage? I'm just curious. Get to roll it twice.
Just got to get to it.
Oh!
Really didn't matter.
It is not his
First-
style.
Yeah. It's like, I don't feel right if I'm not stomping around.
Let's see. It's Raven. You still there? I'm seeing you connect. It says you're connected.
He's rolled once. Oh, no, he's rolled twice.
There you go.
How did he do it twice at a...
Yeah,
Just roll off the sheet.
he's probably rolling off the sheet.
Okay.
I made all this stuff before I even knew you could do that.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Oh, so easy. You should probably just use that.
Push a button.
You don't have the sound. You don't have the sound effect and stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, for the
Skills and
weapons,
stuff,
it's actually, and you might actually be able to combine both. I am.
Probably if I went in there and just added
Maybe.
another line of code,
Yeah,
I could probably do it. Also,
possible.
I've got. You pick a target.
You can certainly do the sound. I don't know if you can build in the effect as part of the roll, though.
You should be able to. If you can add sound.
Alrighty.
All right, Tarben, you get one free round. And who's your knight, Sir Carl?
Yes.
All right, give me a charge.
And Tarben just runs right up into the first one's face and attempts to maul it.
But he's bald.
Wow, I'm having some serious roll 20 lag.
Yeah, you know, the music is kind of funky, too. It keeps cutting out, coming back on.
Yeah, it's probably all mine. It's probably all the animations. Here, I'll just leave it. That better?
Yep. Nope.
If you have issues, if you reload, it'll probably be fixed.
Yeah.
It's just a sound. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sir Carl the Drake. What, did you miss?
Yep.
Oh,
Good.
speed of 10. Let's see.
His foot slipped on one of those slats. It looks very
Got him. 6.
yeah, it just looks very unstable.
And Torquel, you can go. I'll roll their initiative here. And I want the rest of you guys roll initiative. And Foliana, if you want.
Yeah,
if you-
Foliana did want to take a snipe shot at
Yep.
one of those guys. So
the one that's hit already.
no, at one of the archers. She's gonna try to.
Got it.
She's doing. Yeah. So is this at advantage?
Yes.
Okay. So let's. Okay, 24, and she would get her sneak attack. So that's 11.
That particular one, that is enough to kill it.
Excellent.
So it falls in the water. It looks like it does that old western.
Yeah. Foliana smirks. So, she just shot. If she can, she's going to try to use her cunning action to try to hide again. I don't know if that's permissible. If they can see her, she can't do that because...
No, I think she can because like they saw like the rocky shore down there with the water.
Okay, if there's
Yeah.
something for her to hide, then it'll work. All right,
Yeah.
so she'll try that. That looks good. I just have to beat their passive perception.
That beats it.
All right, she's hidden again. It's an irritating little skill.
Torquel?
What can I do if I'm kind of stuck behind?
Just push him in the water.
Yeah. Push the knight in the water.
What are you worried
Yeah.
about?
Bo wants to
You
get
can-
rid
you
of
can
him.
fit-
Just
you can fit
help
two
him out here.
So you can fit 2 abreast here. Let's say that.
Okay.
Oh my. That bridge must be very rickety.
Yeah, it's like swinging back and forth. 10 is enough to hit that one and kill it.
Ooh.
Ah! It falls into water. Splash. You see it gets swirled around and gets sucked down. Ah!
That could be one of you. Be careful.
Scaveri's turn next. That one's dead. Just these 4 are going to be taking their shots. Short bow at Tarben. Ooh, 20.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind, sorry.
Yep.
Ooh.
Tarben takes 6. This one comes forward a little bit to get a better shot at Torquel. And that's a miss. And the other one comes forward to take a shot at Torquel. That's a hit. 8.
Ooh.
Use your rage.
I should have already done it if I was going to use it. But I only get it twice before I have to rest, and that's it. So I'm going to
That's
conserve it, I guess.
Powerful wizard, it's your turn.
I'm gonna start casting spells. Seeing
You
the,
could have tried something unconventional.
I'm gonna do some
I want to
unconventional.
be some sort of magic user.
So seeing the Scaveri on the other end of the bridge are
Artillery!
peppering. I mean, I can actually hit them from here. This is wild. But seeing as they're peppering the knights and Torquel trying to cross the bridge, I would just pick one of them. I guess the one's here, and attempt to Eldritch Blast him from
Oh, no.
across.
Use a dart like in old D&D and do a die 4 damage.
Oh yeah.
Or was it a die 3? It was something ridiculous.
Magic missile.
Yeah.
If only.
No, that's when they ran out. They had like one magic missile and then they'd sit there throwing stupid darts.
Oh, we have to go back. Even I am human.
If I missed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 1. Oh my.
Yeah, missed.
Yep.
Just look. You hear this chattering in this guttural language, and Tarben can see here. Tarben is the only one that can speak Scaveri, isn't he?
I can speak Scaveri.
Yeah, you hear him go, "A wizard! A wizard!" There's, the language like a magic user. They're frightened. All right, Foliana, your turn.
Alright. Sneak attack at this clown there. Oh yeah. And so that's 11.
Oh, he had 10 HP.
And she'll try to hide again. Yep, she's
Yep.
keeping her head down.
Just picking them off. So you guys are probably feeling Tarben and Torquel pretty reassured from the other side. These arrows just keep slamming into them. This one kind of rolls down the embankment into the stream and gets washed away. Ah! And Tarben, you're up.
Alright. As a bonus action, we'll do this.
Yes. Oh yeah.
There you go.
So that helps. And then we will run up in this guy's face. Maul him.
Impressive.
He's actually
Most impressive.
pretty strong. So he hangs tough though. He cracks him like caving in the side of his chest. And he swings off the bridge, almost falls off, grabs it with the claw, and with just prehensile strength, pops back up and lands in front of you.
Just in time for Torquel.
Tarben actually grins a little bit.
Should have stayed down. Yeah.
Alright. Scavari. Oh, Torquel's turn, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And that kills him. What does that look like?
Torquel comes up and it goes short. And when he gets down past him, he pulls it back up and opens him from his groin to his gullet. And then he falls off.
Wilhelm scream. You rebel scum.
Rebel scum.
The two other Scavari kind of look at you guys crossing the bridge and kind of say, "Intruders! Intruders!" And you start to fire at. Let's see who they want to shoot at. First one goes to Torquel. There you go. Let's see here. Short bow. That's a miss.
Man, they're pretty good on damage.
Yeah.
Next one's towards Sir Carl the Drake. Clanks off his armor. Julius, it's your turn. See artillery.
You should make like mortar sounds as you do it.
Yeah, it's going after
12.
that one again.
The one in the middle?
The one on the far left.
Alright, what happens to that dude as he's incinerated?
So there's a kind of a ball of blue flame that flies through the air, collapses, lands on him, and engulfs him. Tries to put himself out, but ends up as his other kin did, falls into the whirlpool and disappears to parts unknown. Still burning in the water.
Yeah, it's smaller as it goes down.
It's phosphorus burn. Alright, Foliana.
Alright. Last guy standing. Is that a hit?
13, his AC is 12.
Alright, that's 9 damage.
And he had 6, so...
Alright, so he saw the arrow kill a couple of his guys, so he peers up over the edge of that thing to try to see where the arrows are coming from, and he sees the arrow coming at the last second. And points, there! Goes down. And she'll try to hide again, because why not?
Yep. Sir Carl and Sir Tiffin will both sprint across the bridge towards
Destiny.
these heathen troglodytes. And Tarben and Torquel, I'd like you guys to both do intimidations as you charge across the bridge. I'll see who gets the highest. You guys, rivals.
Tarben.
Oh no.
Alright, what do you-
Tarben's not having a good day.
why don't you guys act in tandem and tell me what happens? 'Cause I'm gonna make this guy do a because they're going to start to flee from Torquel as you guys start running across.
Torquel just starts yelling and waving his battle axe over his head. Ah, I'm coming, you little ones! Nothing particularly original or impressive.
Tarben just stands for a moment as Torquel runs off waving his axe, then follows after, perhaps not quite as impressive.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Julius.
Well, let's see. Oh,
Is it 120?
it is 120 on the dot.
It fizzles out like an inch right before.
That looks good. Now he'll move it. He'll move a bit closer.
It's going straight for his neck, and then
He'll move his
Stopped.
30.
Damn it.
He thinks about it for a moment and figures there's no reason not to get closer. The knights are advancing, so he gets a bit closer, and then we'll another eldritch blast at the trog to the very far left.
Bright light.
He's running away and just sears his left leg, and you can see from across the thing, it's like this flesh pops open, and I just pulling his left leg behind him like a gimp, but he's not dead.
And keep advancing. Cut them all down. The world won't miss them.
Foliana.
She'll start up the ramp, but she's gonna be more... She's not gonna take a shot. She's looking to see if she sees anything else or anyone else of interest, so I could make a perception. That's what I will do.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you don't see anything else.
Okay.
You see them across the cave, like fleeing for their lives.
Yeah, that doesn't interest her. She's more concerned about just keeping watch for any surprises.
And then just kind of narratively, they start just booking it. And then like the little gimp's trying to get away with his flayed leg, and Sir Carl and Tiffin just fall upon him, just hack him to pieces. And at this point, you kind of hear them running down the hall, getting fainter and fainter.
Hmm.
And then at least that little battle is over. Sir Tiffin and Carl says, "The coast is clear. The vermin have fled."
Well, that went relatively well.
Better than expected. It's a good thing that these creatures don't have a strategic thought in their brain. They could have kept us at the bridge.
Yes. Though we were quick. Perhaps if we'd given them time to organize, it would hurt.
A wise strategy.
And echoing from deep, deep down inside the caverns, you hear almost pig-like squealing. Eventually. And then all goes quiet.
Now we'll perhaps... Oh, did it sound like squeals of terror and death, or did it just sound like it's... Ah, alright. Well, it sounds like there's something up ahead. Our little friends scouted the way for us.
Oh, very well. Caleb kind of comes across the bridge. You all performed admirably, I dare say. I'll stay here to watch you continue to perform admirably right from the back.
Yes, until we get fallen upon from behind.
Sir Tiffin just kind of shoves him aside and says, "Out of my way, little man." And the knights kind of continue to lead the way.
Foliana took kind of a little secret delight in watching him push Caleb around a little bit. She's not terribly fond of Caleb. And likes to see a noble put him in his place. If we're going slowly, Foliana will stay in shadows and keep hidden. I would assume we're not rushing like madmen.
No, I assume weapons are out.
Certainly. Foliana says kind of quietly, keep your eyes open for corpses. That should warn us when we're about to become a target.
Come them ourselves?
Yes.
I have the utmost confidence, Torquel, that if anyone in this cave is to remain standing, it will be you.
We're very kind. But I think I'll hang it back from now on.
As you get towards the end here, the steps leading downwards, it's even warmer and warmer. You sense and see a faint red glow deep beneath you at the end of the stairs. As Sir Tiffin starts downwards, he plants his foot and it almost slips and falls on slick, fresh blood. Seems we finished them off after all.
Not us. Keep your eyes open.
Alright, let's see here.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to stop soon.
Yeah, I think we'll have to call it after this. This gets us to a good stopping point. Should be down here in lower left. Is that everybody? Leave the doctor behind.
Where's the doctor?
Unintentionally, of course.
He's not disappointed.
So as you get further and further down, you see a faint glowing light, and the sound of the rushing water has gone away, and instead you just hear a bubbling and feel a faint heat as you kind of continue forward. The knights lead the way.
Is this a ledge or some
Yeah, that's should probably be impassable. It's like a cliff. It's like 12 feet high or something like that.
No way to climb up it. Foliana doesn't like that much. She's going to go around this way then, and kind of keep an eye up there as everyone passes underneath it. She's got her bow kind of ready to shoot anything that appears up there.
All right. And I'd like everybody to make a perception.
We see that, by the way.
Yep.
Shadow stuff.
24. Did anybody beat 24?
24?
No.
Okay. So, this is where the knights get it. As you guys continue into the cavern, the knights are kind of up ahead, and they're kind of looking around, and Sir Carl kind of pokes his head into one of the nooks and crannies, and you see just like almost as if he is covered in shadow, and he just starts to scream. And we're going to end it there.
Brave, 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 Sir Carl. Oh dear.